Hello again, folks. This is the Emco lathe in its current condition. I've got the lead screw and the feed rod off, and I've got the carriage off and the tailstock off, and I've got the bulk of the surface rust off of here. Rust and dirt mixture. In fact, I could scrub the dirt off with a brush, and the minor areas of rust that were left, I rubbed them with my finger and they got to 90% clean just like that, so it was very much surface. From this point that way I haven't touched it yet. So the headstock and everything, the Norton quick change gearbox and all the gearing and everything, nothing there has been touched. Here's a bit more of a close-up of the bed. You can see that there are areas. There's a scrape here. You can't feel it from the top. Maybe you can just feel it, but I'm not worried about low points that are isolated like that. What I'm looking for is big bands of wear and steps that indicate that it's had a lot of use. It hasn't had a lot of use because I don't think this is a hardened bed, and I can't see any of those steps. That gives you a bit of an idea what the rest of the bed's like. It's had a very, very quick clean up. I haven't spent time trying to remove these stains or anything. I just wanted to take the surface down to something that felt reasonable, just so I could slide the carriage off the end without abrading anything. So I'm going to come back to this and improve that. Everything on this table is stuff that I've taken off and cleaned, and I mean stripped to the nut and bolt and cleaned as I've gone. And I've also done some mild remedial work where needed. So for instance, the barrel or the ram from the tailstock has a long keyway that runs along it, and there's a screw in here that stops that ram rotating, and that keyway had a burr along the edge of the keyway, and so this would hardly move in here. Even without the screw or the brake in there, it would hardly go in and out. So I had to take a needle file to that, deburr the edge of that, and then polish the result. And we've got a tailstock that moves beautifully with no play. Brake works, and the adjustable collar works nicely. The brake seems to stick on and then it releases, so maybe I need to add a little bit more lube to where those brake blocks sit. Shouldn't call them brakes, it's a cotter, it's a split cotter. So they move in a vertical bore, and the sort of two radius bits clamp onto this. Yeah, anyway, that's working beautifully. All the oil ways are clean, and all the threads are chased. All these surfaces, liberal use of the flat stones from Carl. All the round surfaces have been stoned when necessary. Yeah, really happy with how that's come out. Here we are around the other side. I've got crossfeed nuts and handles and things in here. The crossfeed has come up pretty good. Again, I haven't spent ages on this, just tried to take staining off, hit it with a flat stone, cleaned up all the threaded holes. I've put new bearings in this, put some SKF sealed bearings in this because I noticed a lot of junk had got down through the table, through the crossfeed, underneath this cover and into the open bearings that were here. So that's been upgraded to rubber seal bearings. The screws look brilliant, and the screws and nuts appear to have zero wear because when I put them together with no backlash compensation, they have zero wear. There's almost no backlash. Compound slide. Again, same story with the screw. Very, very fine screw on here, which I like. Makes small movements very easy. Missing a bit of paint. That's a bit of a shame. But the tops of compounds really do get battered on a lathe. There's a Gibbs strip and a cover plate that protects the screw. And I've got the camera tilted just so that you can see most of this lead screw and feed rod. So this is just a hexagonal shaft. Just needed a clean up. The screw was a bit A little bit of light corrosion on the ends, not a lot, and it came off easily, but certainly did need a clean, and I didn't want to leave that on there. I haven't figured out yet how to get this bracket off the end. I think it might be something to do with this oiler, but I don't want to break anything, so I can get it pretty clean and flush it from the inside, so not a problem. And I've got a cover on the table saw, and this is kind of part armoury, part parts store. Here's the carriage and apron. They're going to be the next victims, and you can just see the overall state of this machine. It's very, very dirty, but underneath it's there's a bit of wear on the paint, but there's really not a lot of wear on any of the moving parts so far. The one exception is the tailstock taper. That could probably do with a regrind or hitting with a reamer or something. I'll have to have a closer look at it later. It does hold on to a Morse Taper 2 tool very rigidly, so it may be fine, but you know, we'll see. I'm treating this cleanup as a sort of modular thing, and I'm taking off units that I can keep together, clean, and then reassemble as a unit, and that just helps keep the workshop a bit more organised. For the most part, I'm just disassembling, cleaning, changing bearings where needed. There's going to be no scraping at the moment. This is just a clean, so I can get the thing back together and inspect it and make some decisions about what I want to do with it. I hope this stuff's a little bit interesting to you. I know I'm in the middle of a bench build. Yeah, that's just how it is in my workshop. I sort of jump from one thing to another, but everything gets finished eventually. The lathe will probably take a few more days to get to be really clean, and then I've got to start having a look at the electrics. It's supposed to have a row of buttons along the back here, and they've got a bad reputation with Emco lathes. They're not the best system. Someone's put some big drum switches on here. It's a 2-speed motor, 3-phase, and I might replace the lot with a VFD, a 3-phase motor. We'll see. We'll just get the thing clean and decide from there. Okay, thanks for watching. As I say, I hope you're enjoying it. Keep your eyes peeled for the next episode. Okay, thank you. See you next time.